Hey friends, Alan Lee here with Honestly Handyman Services out of Sacramento, California, and today I wanted to talk about the top 10 most profitable handyman jobs. I looked at various different handyman jobs and I used the same strategy that I talked about in my video last week, which is maximum profit equals low overhead plus specialized skill. And this basically means that if you can do a job that doesn't require any parts or very little parts, then you are on track to make more money on that job than you would a material heavy job. So first of all, on this video, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out all my other videos that I have on this channel. This is a second video to a series that I'm doing. The last video was posted last Friday, which is about finding the maximum profit of a handyman job and focusing on those jobs in particular. So I asked you guys a question in that video last week of what you guys think the top most profitable handyman jobs would be using that strategy that I gave you guys, which is maximum profit equals low overhead plus specialized skill. And so I looked at all these different handyman jobs and I kind of came up with my own top 10. Now obviously this is not top 10 for everyone. Other people may have their bread and butter and may have their specific jobs that make them the most amount of profit that they possibly can. But these are my personal ones and they may benefit you as well, because if you guys are anything like me, you guys might benefit from these particular jobs that I'm going to talk about as well. So again, I'm using the strategy of maximum profit equals low overhead, or little amount of materials as possible plus specialized skill, which means having something that, you know, just a regular Joe Schmo does not have. So the first of these 10 most profitable handyman jobs that I would say is replacing or repairing a toilet. And this is actually a very easy job to do. I mean, a toilet really isn't made up of all that many things. It's just a porcelain body made up with, you know, a fill valve and a flush valve. And then going through down to it is a wax ring and the toilet flange, and then it goes out to the drain piping. So there's really not much to it at all. So if you know a little bit about the workings and how a toilet should work, you know, properly fill and properly flush, it's pretty easy to figure out. And oftentimes those fill and flush valves are very inexpensive, so you can get them fairly cheap and install them. And you know, you could charge a pretty good rate to install those, because that is what some people would say is a specialized skill. Some homeowners feel comfortable tackling those jobs, but if they don't and they need to call someone who has the specialized skill that they need, that's where we as handymen step in. So, and then also replacing a toilet is a very easy job. Again, some homeowners like to do that themselves, but if they don't feel comfortable with it, maybe they don't know how to do it, maybe they don't have the time, that's when they would call us. And this qualifies in the category of maximum profit for a handyman job, because oftentimes toilets are supplied by the customers. They buy ones they particularly want. So you come in, the wax ring usually comes with the toilet. If not, you just have a few dollar part that you put in there. And you have virtually no materials for that job, and all of it is profit from your labor. So that's why it qualifies for that. So the second most profitable handyman job in my category is replacing a ceiling fan. Now again, this qualifies as well, because most ceiling fans, the client has their own ceiling fan that they want installed. And this is talking about, you know, if they already have a ceiling fan up there and they just want it taken down, they want a new one put up. And then also this is a good upselling point in this category, because say they don't have a ceiling fan, say they don't even have a light fixture or a light switch, then this is a great opportunity to you know, to use your expertise, because that's really its expertise, is running wires and all that, to install this ceiling fan for them. And that's going to pay top dollar, because that is specialized skill right there. Even just replacing a ceiling fan is something that will gain you more profit than most things, because the material is already there. You don't have to supply any materials except for maybe, you know, 3 wire nuts, maybe some screws, depending on the mounting. So there's really not much materials there, but there is a higher amount of specialized skill. See, a lot of times when people think of, you know, installing a ceiling fan, they want to make sure it's done right. They want to make sure it's hung correctly. So if you are replacing a ceiling fan with or if you're putting up a ceiling fan where a light fixture used to be, you're going to want to check out the junction box. Make sure that is ceiling fan rated, and if it is not, you're going to want to upsell that obviously and install an approved ceiling fan junction box that will hold the weight of a proper ceiling fan that they are going to install. So there are a few different ways to upsell in that, but even if it's just replacing a ceiling fan, you can charge some good money for that, and if you get it down, it should only take you about half an hour, maybe about an hour, but I think you would still be making enough profit to cover that for sure, depending on your prices in your area. And then the third most profitable handyman job that I would say is replacing a light fixture. Now this is very much like a ceiling fan. A lot of times when customers are challenged with electricity, they don't even want to mess with it. They would rather leave that to someone who is licensed and understands electricity and isn't going to burn their house down. So that's where we would come into play. And replacing a light fixture really isn't that hard of a deal. If they already have a ceiling light fixture up there, you just pop that one down, put the new one up, wire it up, and put it up there, put some light bulbs in it, and you're good to go. As long as you have some basic understanding of electrical, which I would assume most handymen do, then replacing a light fixture is definitely high on the top list for maximum profit, because it doesn't require any materials as long as the client has their own light fixture that they want you to put up there. And it does have specialized skill of that electricity being involved in that equation. So the fourth most profitable handyman job that I would say is replacing a faucet. And so now this can range from replacing a kitchen faucet to a bathroom faucet, or even a hose spigot outside. Now this is kind of like electricity, where sometimes when people are confronted with plumbing issues, they don't want to mess with it. They don't even want to touch it. They'd rather leave it to a professional to deal with that. So that is where we come into play. And replacing a faucet is actually fairly easy. And after you do quite a few of them, you can get them down pretty quick and get them done in about a half an hour, bang them out, and get on your way. And if you couple that with some other jobs, then you will definitely be making some good profit. Replacing, a faucet, like I said, super easy. As long as, the supply valves will close and then they'll open up correctly and you won't have any issues, then everything will be great. If you do encounter a supply valve that closes but then won't open again or won't close at all, then you may need to upsell replacing that angle stop supply valve, which again will require some more specialized skill, which will get you some high profit there. The fifth most profitable handyman job that I would say, and I've definitely gotten into this within the last year, is dryer vent cleaning. Now, dryer vent cleaning is something that most homeowners do not think of. I mean, I've cleaned so many vents for homes that are 20 plus years old. They've never done their dryer vent clean. They never even thought about it. But then they heard from a friend that I did it for one of their friends, and they called me up and they're like, hey, I didn't even know I needed to clean my dryer vent. Can you come take a look at it? And sure enough, the hole is shrunk down to nothing because it's just covered in dryer vent. So this is a very easy sell because it's really a fire hazard. If people don't know about their dryer vent and don't know that it needs to be cleaned, it can cause a huge fire down the road. So it's definitely something that they want to get taken care of. Cleaning a dryer vent is a fairly easy operation to do. Probably the hardest is to get up on the roof and take off the cover. Some of the covers are riveted on, so you may need to grind off the rivets, pull that off, and put it back on with some self-tapping screws. That would probably be the hardest part of the whole equation. And then, getting the part for that, the tool for that, is just going to Home Depot or Lowe's and getting a dryer vent cleaning kit. And then you hook that up to your cordless drill, and you just get going on that. So it's a fairly easy thing. I would say it definitely qualifies for the maximum profit equation because it is low overhead, has no materials other than maybe a self-tapping screw if your caps are riveted. If they're not strapped into place and they're riveted, then you'll need to do a self-tapping screw to hold that back on afterwards. And they have specialized skill, definitely. Because when people think of their dryer vent going up through the roof, they don't even want to mess with that. They don't even want to go up on the roof. They don't want to clean it. They don't know how to grind the rivets off. They don't know how to unstrap the cover, depending on what kind of cover you have. So it's very specialized skill to go in there, handle that, and take before and after pictures, and even flow test it if you have the capability, and show them that this was your fire risk before, and now this is your fire risk now, which is almost none. So it's definitely something that can definitely make you money. If you haven't looked into dryer vent cleaning, I would highly recommend you do that. The sixth most profitable handyman job that I would say is mounting TVs to a wall. A lot of people these days are going to flat screen TVs. They've been around forever, and they're putting them up on walls. And this is a very easy job to do. You just find some studs, put it in there with the mount. Usually the mount is supplied by the customer to match their TV. If not, you can get some fairly inexpensive ones as well. But yeah, mounting a TV is fairly inexpensive. And then if they want to have you put wires in the wall, that is something else that you can upsell and offer that as well. Just putting some electrical outlet up there and then maybe some HDMI cords running up there as well. And that again takes specialized skill. And all these jobs, they don't take very long. That's why, like I've said before, is they all qualify for the maximum profit equation. So mounting TVs is number 6. So number 7 of the maximum profit as a handyman job would be clearing clogged sinks. So like P-traps and things like that. Maybe a shower drain that is clogged, and you pull off the cap and you find a whole bunch of dog hair in there and you pull it out, or human hair, depending on if they wash their dog in there or not. I did one the other day where they had a big old white huge dog and they washed their dog in their shower and it was just full of it. So cleaning that out, very simple to do. It's kind of gross. There's actually a video on YouTube of a guy showing you how to do it, and I think it's a spoof video where he pulls out all this hair and he just starts like gagging all over the place. It's pretty funny, so it's kind of nasty stuff, but it really pays off well. Cleaning out drain lines like that. Something simple, things that are just easy, maybe it's clogged by hair or soap or whatever, and also cleaning out P-traps of sinks. I mean, in a bathroom, people don't clean out their P-traps. They don't clean out their little pop-up valves. I mean, if you look around the pop-up valve and you see a lot of, soap scum and things like that, you need to, unscrew underneath the sink and pull that pop-up valve out, and then you can take the P-trap off and clean all that out. And the sink is going to run 100 times better than it did before. So that's going to be a huge testament to your work right there. And the customers are going to absolutely love it. So that's going to build in your profit and your reputation right there. And again, cleaning out drains, I mean, that's another thing that fits into that because it has the low overhead, which is very little to no materials needed for that job. It's all just getting your hands dirty. But I love the quote from Mike Rowe. He said, "Some people clean poop for a living, but the thing that they always tell me is poop washes off at the end of the day." I mean, that's the biggest thing for a plumber is poop washes off, and in the end of the day, you make a good, honest living. So that is number 7 for the most profitable handyman job. Number 8 for the most profitable handyman job would be gutter cleaning. Gutter cleaning, I mean, a lot of people think that that's a very rudimentary job, and a lot of people, maybe they think that they are above that. But really, gutter cleaning is a service that you got to offer. I mean, we are handymen, we're all around service men. And gutter cleaning is something that is essential because if you don't do it, if customers don't do it, their gutters are going to rot and they're going to have a whole bunch of stuff going on down the road. So it's very important to do, and a lot of times people, they'll call you up when they have gutters that are leaking, over the top, and they need it to get cleaned. So they'll give you a call and they want you to clean their gutters. So it's definitely something that is very important to do, and it's very easy to do as well. You can clean, you could clean a 1-story house, 1,200 square feet. You could clean it in probably about a half an hour and make some good money on that. That is something that can bring you a lot of profit because, again, it doesn't require any parts or materials. All right, so gutter cleaning was most profitable job number 8. So most profitable job number 9 is replacing electrical outlets and light switches. Now, again, this falls back to the ceiling fan and light fixture replacement. Is when people see electrical, they don't want to touch it. They want to leave it to someone who is certified and understands what they're doing. So again, I would say this is for people who truly understand electricity and how it works, how to properly connect an outlet and a light switch. But it's very simple because you can pick up an outlet and a light switch very cheap at the local hardware store and make some good profit while you install that, because it does require a lot of specialized skill to do that electrical, and it really doesn't require that much material to do it. And homeowners are going to really enjoy it because they're going to call you up and they're going to be like, hey, this outlet doesn't work, or this light switch isn't working, or it's sparking when I turn it on and off. Can you do something about it? And you go in there, you replace it in, say, 10 minutes, and you make some good money. So that is number 9. So number 10 most profitable handyman job is, I would say, is repairing a leaning fence post. So when customers call me up and they're 2 or 3 of their fence posts are leaning because they're rotten at the bottom, I mean, there's always multiple options that you can do. You can either tear that part of the fence down and pull those posts out, dig it out of the concrete, put new posts in, put new cement in, and then put the whole fence back together. But what I always offer is putting in galvanized posts next to the fence that will support each rotten fence post. Now, this may have an aesthetic issue. If people are worried about how it's going to be looking, then I obviously go with what I mentioned before, is actually replacing the 4x4 post. But if they just want a quick, cheap fix, I recommend the galvanized post. And actually, you can offer this service inexpensive to the customer, but actually gives you quite a bit of profit, because it's a whole lot cheaper than actually tearing down the whole fence and putting in new posts, new 4x4 wooden posts. You just put in galvanized posts next to them. It saves them a lot of money, but it's also pretty profitable for you, because all you have in it is the galvanized post, the anchors, and then the cement to go along with that. So it's really not that much materials. It does require specialized skill, because you're definitely putting those in, and I mean, before, their fence is like this, and when you are done, their fence is going to be straight. So they're definitely going to notice, and they're going to love the work that you do on their fence. So that kind of sums up my 10 most profitable handyman jobs. And again, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm working on my next video, which is going to be the 10 least profitable handyman jobs. And if you guys have any ideas of what those jobs might be, please leave those in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. And again, I'm going to be using the equation that maximum profit equals low overhead plus specialized skill. So next video, next Friday, we're going to be talking about the 10 least profitable handyman jobs that you can do as a handyman. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Please share this video with your friends and family that would enjoy this content, and anyone that you think would. Leave me a comment in the comment section below and like this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.